nobody really seems to have caught on to the French Revolution stuff. And I broke all that down until the video ended. We were getting really close to knocking it out of the park, and then of course they pulled it down. So I can't play any video, but I can show you imagery.
Watch what
right?
steak does to your gut.
The carnivore diet. Why do people lose weight so rapidly?
Protein.
So we'll start here at the beginning and talk about it. Thank you for that super chat. You guys want to support the stream, you can do so via Streamlabs. Streamlabs is the link that I'm going to put right here. It'll take you over to another site, and then you can just do your super chat that way. So support the show via Streamlabs. Super chat's right there. I mean, we're at the point where the president is endorsing Bitcoin. I mean, come on, guys. Like, why are we still acting like this is 2015? Bitcoin is a scam. It's used by criminals. You mean the dollar is a scam used by criminals, mega criminals? Still haven't figured it out. Have fun being poor if you still haven't figured out what we're all about. Now, Michael Saylor's keynote speech was great. And I'm going to explain to you the logic of why Bitcoin is a good black hole that will end up eating everything. All right, so this year's Olympics opens up with, this was kind of funny. You got this, I don't know what this is supposed to mean, but this kind of goofy, he looks like a goofy foreign man, right? And he runs into this empty stadium and he messed up. All right, he's got the Torch of Liberty. He runs in there and he's like, "Oh, I messed up. There's no Olympics here." Okay, and that was all really weird. He doesn't look French. He looks like he's from frickin' El Salvador or something, which is fine with me. Shout out to El Salvador for their Bitcoin policies, right? But this dude does not look like a French man. Okay. And then he bumps into the hitman. I don't know who this is supposed to be, but dude looks like a hitman, which is, again, bizarre. And the hitman's like, "Oh, you got to go to the catacombs, bro." So here you got like this dude looks like he would be outside the gas station, with a bag of pizzas or something, right? Trying to get you to sell, trying to get you to buy a hot pizza from a trash bag. And by the way, that happened to me one time. My buddy and I we went out partying. This was years ago when I was in Cincinnati, and we stopped at this gas station, and a dude walks around from behind the gas station where the trash is, and he's got a trash bag. I'm not joking, like a black trash bag full of hot piping pizzas. And I'm like, and then he's like, hey, y'all want to buy a pizza? And my friend and I we thought this was so funny that we were actually like inquiring into the prices and checking out the hot trash bag pizza market. I'm looking it up. Like, that's some pretty good prices right there. Dude's only asking $5 for a hot trash bag pizza. I'm down. So anyway, we always thought that's like one of my favorite, just hilarious. Like, who in the hell would ever buy a pizza from a homeless dude from behind a damn gas station where you can see the big freaking garbage can back there? It's a black, even that it's a black trash bag makes it even worse. Not because of race, but just because of the mystery. Remember those mystery loot crates? Remember when that was stupid ass trend was going around YouTube? Oh, send me $50 and I'll give you a box of trash. But it's a mystery, and you'll have fun opening it up on your YouTube video. This was like the ghetto version of that, right? Oh, mystery pizza bag. Give me $5. You will get something that might be a pizza or worse from behind the Quickie Mart. I got a pizza from behind the Quickie Mart. It was in a black trash bag unmarked. I paid with bills unmarked. I got a pizza from a trash bag Quickie Mart. Anyway, that was a true story. Loot crates, baby. Anyway, this dude right here looks like the dude that would be behind the gas station with the discount bag of pizzas. So the hitman tells him, no, you got to run underground. Okay. And you're not gonna make it to the ceremony because you went to the wrong stadium, dummy. So let the hitman take over, and they give the Torch of Liberty to two girls. I'm thinking that's a girl. So two young French girls and a Muslim boyfriend that they got. Okay, and then the two young French girls, the hitman gives them the Torch of Liberty and says, you'll have to run through the catacombs. Yes, the catacombs. So now we got a catabasis ritual with a Torch of Liberty. I'm not kidding, because it gets even crazier than this. Hitman says, good luck, run through the catacombs. So they go to the sewers, and they find Charon. And y'all don't know who Charon is. He is the man who, he's your Uber to the underworld. You give him a couple dollars, and he floats you across the river Styx. Okay, y'all don't know your mythology. So anyway, Charon. Now, I think he's supposed to look like a Muslim boy. Let's be honest here, right? Muslim boy with two French girlfriends. So they find Charon underneath the city in the catacombs, and he's going to take them across the river Styx. And this is interesting because this character plays himself the rest of the time, running with the torch, and he runs through the history of France up to and glorifying the French Revolution. And everybody ignored all of that stuff, and they just focused on the weird inversion of the Last Supper, right? So Leonardo's Last Supper with all the weirdos and the swapping individuals, the people who swap what they are, you know what I'm saying? So it begins with they take the torch to the ceremony, which is not at the stadium. They have all this puff of smoke. And then greased goes first with enchantment. And Greece goes first because the Olympics have the origins in Greece. But what a lot of people don't know is that even in ancient Greece, the Olympics were a form of soft power and geopolitical machinations. Did you know that? Did you know that even back then, for example, at the Olympics in ancient Greece, they would announce new political alliances. They would announce upcoming wars. And thus, even back then, the giant spectacle, high-profile ritual ceremonies were geopolitical machination events. They were soft power propaganda events. Few people know this. In fact, few people know that nowadays, not just the Olympics, but FIFA, whatever, all that soccer crap, a lot of that is geopolitical soft power. Did you know that? And that's why there's oftentimes a lot of skullduggery going on. Remember the Sochi Olympics? And that had a lot of anti-Russian, pro-Russian stuff going on in the media sphere, battling back and forth. There's also money laundering that goes on with these kinds of big sporting events, too. So all kinds of stuff going on. And the theme here is that, yes, guess what? The Olympics are fake and gray. Rap music was fake and gray all along. Duh. You didn't know that? Sam Tripoli was having a meltdown the other day. Dude! Rap is fake! Right? If you listen to that podcast is really funny, by the way. But somebody dug up a clip of Biggie that the theory is that P. Diddy ripped off some other rapper and then just pasted it onto Biggie. Anyway, you can go watch that. Yeah, the fake Russian doping scandal. Remember they were saying that the Russians didn't have bathrooms for the Olympics. All this just made up stuff. It was silly. But it goes even crazier than that because they tie it into the geopolitical stuff and the war and all that. So, Yeah, guess what? Not only is gangster rap fake and gray and a bunch of like poofter ditties, soccer is fake and gray. Oh, guess what? Sports are rigged and fake and gray. Oh, guess what? The economy is fake and gray. Fiat money is fake. Oh, guess what? The Olympics is fake and totally gray now. So they're celebrating the history of, quote, liberty. It goes from enchantment to the three Masonic dictums of the revolution: liberty, equality, fraternity. And now they've added a fourth one. Did you guys catch the fourth one? Diversity. So they added liberty, equality, fraternity. They added diversity. And if you want a briefer breakdown, I got to meet Mike Benz, who you've probably seen on Twitter. He's a prominent Twitter person. And we met up with Luke and Mike Benz in Nashville the other day. Or was this like yesterday? Yesterday or 2 days ago, I forget. But Mike was a sharp guy. We got to have some good conversations over lunch about geopolitical scandals. And I'm the one that told him that Maria Abramovic has a State Department page. So he wasn't aware of that. He was excited to learn that. So we had a great conversation. And Luke was like, hey, let's go outside and shoot a video. So we stepped outside. And there you can see my allergies are going crazy because it's the worst ever. Pollen boy's on the attack. Pollen boy's crawling up in my eye, making me cry. People are going to expose me, saying that I'm doing the Illuminati symbol. Anyway, it's a great video. Shout out to Luke and Mike Benz for promoting that, pushing that. You can go check that out over here on Luke's channel. But yeah, we had a great conversation over lunch with those guys, and then some of the people who work at Tucker's network, at Eddie's Barbecue, 80s Barbecue, whatever it's called. Anyway, it's really good barbecue in Nashville. And so check out that video there with me and Mike and Luke. And I'll give you that link there. Shout out to Luke for that. Yeah, Luke's been really cool, man. He's been promoting a lot of the stuff that we've done, and had us on the podcast a few weeks ago down in Miami. That was a lot of fun. Oh, I forgot to mention the everybody's love to hate individual on Twitter. She put up the clips of our interview. I thought this interview was like forgotten because we actually did this interview back when we did Luke's podcast, or around that time, which was months ago, like 2 months ago, maybe. Where's it at? So you probably know who I'm talking about. Everybody's favorite love to hate person, Pearl. And people are, why would you do an interview with Pearl? Because Pearl actually didn't want to talk about, I didn't know what she exactly wanted to talk about, but she didn't want to talk about male-female issues. Where the heck is it at? That dude took my drip too, by the way. Everybody knows that. She wanted to talk about geopolitics, the big picture, and she asked a bunch of basic questions for a basic audience, right? And this was like, she was saying this, like, I'm just going to ask you really simple questions. Where the heck is it at? Anyway, it's on here somewhere. Let me find it. About conspiracy stuff. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm being long-winded. So here's one clip where I look terrible because we got down there and it was just like the worst allergies ever in Miami too, man. It was so bad. I don't look too bad in this first clip that she put up, if I can find it. Here it is. More chaos leads to government control. So she put the clip up here. You can go watch this clip if you want.
In a part of London that's based.
And it was an interesting discussion. I tried to get as deep as I could. And there is that. Thank you for retweeting that, Rachel. If you guys want to follow me or Rachel, you can see it's retweeted. I look terrible on that because by the time we drove down there and the allergy, my whole face, everything was just puffy as hell because of the allergies, dude. And it's even worse in Tennessee right now. So looking at the chart, this is the worst day in the entire year for allergies, and it's the worst, which is grass. Right, and it's at a 7 tonight, and right now, and it's going to a 9 tomorrow. A 9 of grasses. It's never that bad. I've never seen a 9 of just grasses. I woke up like 4 times last night. I couldn't breathe. Anyway, so it's just I'm just accepting it. It's gonna be hell tonight. There'll be hell to pay to Pollen Boy. All right, back to this nonsense. Okay, so Lady Gaga comes out, does some stupid cabaret thing. That was dumb. I don't know what the point of that was. She's not even French. Then they showed Notre Dame. I don't know why. None of these, they don't believe. Probably just to signify that it had been burnt, right? So then this is Charon still. Charon, however you say it, from Greek mythology. And I haven't seen anybody break this down. It's like nobody knows ancient mythology anymore or knows any of this symbolism. Look, there he is right there from a damn video game. Right? He's got that Guido Sarducci hat. He's got him a paddle. That paddle is twofold. That paddle is to get you Ubered across the river Styx, and it's to spank your ass when you're getting out of line. So Charon will put your ass in check, boy. Anyway, that's Charon. I don't know why it's pulling up all this video game crap. So here he's over here. It must be hot down there because he's got his shirt off, taking people across the lake. There he is right there. There he is with his little boat. Anyway, that's who that was, right? And nobody knows that that's who that is. It was obvious that's who that was. So he's taking you. Here he is, but he's got the Torch of Liberty, and he emerges from the underworld, and he's running through the history of France. So he crawls up with the Liberty into this tower, and they have a reenactment in this tower of the French Revolution. And then it says liberty, right? So it goes liberty, equality, fraternity, diversity. Liberty, equality, fraternity are the 3 Masonic dictums. And as Rachel pointed out in her book, you couldn't have where we are today without the feminist revolution of the French Revolution. So you understand that all of the revolutions that we have had are all Masonic revolutions. And they all prepare the way for today's final revolution, to use the term that Julian and Aldous Huxley talk about, the revolution against man, the final revolution, against man himself, against human nature. So they celebrate the French Revolution. Now, for those that don't know, I mentioned this on Jake Rattlesnake yesterday. I had my history advisor was an expert in French Revolution. So when I took his class, I had him in undergrad and grad school. I didn't realize how much he was going to make us read about the French Revolution. And I probably wouldn't have taken his class because it was a lot. And I got sick of it. In fact, now looking back, I'm happy. But at the time, it was just like overload. I have an entire shelf of French Revolution stuff. And I don't call myself an expert in the French Revolution, but he was an expert. He also pranked the Vatican one time, which is a funny story. True story. So, the French Revolution was funded by the banking elites in the houses of Europe. You could imagine who. Protestant bankers and certain foreign nations bankers, according to Quigley. And this was for the purpose, ultimately, of certain prominent families, particularly the Rothschild family. They eventually gained a foothold over the Bank of France and the economy of France. This is an overlooked, forgotten chapter in Quigley because people don't read the entire book. I lectured through the entire 1,300-page book for you guys. But the chapter on France is very illuminating. to use the pun on purpose. It was very illuminating. Quigley's chapter on France, because he goes into the history of Ralph and Company and the control of the Bank of France. And then they did the same thing to the Bank of England. So it's a similar model and pattern here. But that couldn't have happened without first, right, French Revolution and these kinds of things occurring. So the French Revolution promoted liberty, equality, fraternity, and it had two different strands. There was the Jacobins, who were the radical communists, who believed in a literal, straight up, like, no private property, and we live in a polycule where I have access to your wife at all times, and even other things at all times. So they were legit, serious communists, okay? The Jacobins. But they were not as radical as the right-wing revolutionaries known as the Girondins. Okay, so this is people like Lafayette and others. But the Jacobins is like Robespierre and Danton and Marat. And so there was a right wing and a left wing of the revolution. All today's politics that's right wing and left wing descends from this French Revolution false left-right dialectic. So it's two flavors of revolution. And the American Revolution was mostly influenced by Girondin. Even though Franklin and Jefferson favored Jacobin ideas at times. They were influenced by the Jacobins. Now, they didn't totally believe in like straight up communism, but there are still revolutionaries who liked the left and right wing side of the revolution. And by the way, this is not even controversial if you read the famous congressional historian. By that I mean the official historian of the Library of Congress, Dr. James Billington. Billington's book, Fire in the Minds of Men, is famous, and it's all about what I'm talking about. It's not the only book. There's many books about this. My publisher has a book called Perfectibilis by Terry Melanson, which is the entire history of the Bavarian Illuminati and the origins of socialism, communism in the modern world in Weishaupt and others. But they got this from Plato. And there's a direct train from the Byzantine Platonist, atheist Platonist Platon, who the Byzantine Empire rejected because of its orthodoxy. But this Platonic communist socialist idea sort of went underground. It influenced, I just went like, who's the Jewish communist, not communist, the Jewish philosopher, Spinoza. Spinoza is influenced by Platon. Spinoza then influences the Illuminists of the French Revolution. Direct lineage, and that's Dr. Sinisioglu's recent book on that very thing, about the battle in Byzantium between Palinism and atheistic Platonism. The whole book on this. By Cambridge, or Oxford, one of the two. I think I even have the book here. So, when we get up to the French Revolution, the Jacobins are really leading the charge at the time of the actual Vendée events and all this stuff. There's a whole bunch of these series of big events. There's the Marie Antoinette story, which is fake. It was actually the revolutionaries made up this story that she said, "Let them eat cake." That didn't actually happen, but it inflamed a lot of people against her. They emptied out the prison, Bastille or whatever, and they basically let the Antifa of the day go wild. So nothing new under the sun. And the Committee for Public Safety basically beheaded, I think, 20,000 people, including Marie Antoinette and the upper class. And then the ceremony has her singing with her head to celebrate this. And then the palace here, I'm assuming this is the palace, they have all of the nobility, the royalty, the bourgeoisie, there's a pop of red that pops out of all the windows. See, that's supposed to represent the bloody massacre of the French Revolution. So essentially they're celebrating in their Olympic ceremony the triumph of the degeneracy, and it's no different than it was at the time of the French Revolution, because the revolutionaries actually put a Lady of the Evening on the altar in Notre Dame. They put her up there to defile the church and called her the goddess of reason. And so the brutalist aesthetic terrorism of the French revolutionaries is no different than the art of today and the CIA and its doctrinal warfare program. Same stuff. Terror through art, aesthetic terrorism. Anyway, we talked about that with Jake Rattlesnake yesterday on his show. People were saying, well, I can't watch it. No, the Jake Rattlesnake interview is on his Twitter. I shared it. So remember, if it doesn't appear over here on this outlet, just go over to X, dude. I don't know what this boat is. And by the way, the history here doesn't seem to be in order because they go from this. Oh, then they have the 3 Skittles men enjoying themselves. So after the French Revolution, now we can finally be the fabulous Skittles men that we always wanted to be. So it was an entire celebration of the French Revolution, Jacobinism, and degeneracy. And then we had some Nubian princess doing her routine. And then Charon runs into a museum. And this was odd because at first you see a bunch of, I'm guessing it's, I don't know if he's at the Louvre or where he's at. I've never been to France. But a lot of these paintings, they end up turning black, like there's nothing there. So at first there's a bunch of like famous paintings that he looks at. And then a bunch of them go dark, and there's nothing in the paintings. It's hard to show that, but I don't know what that's supposed to mean, except that we've gotten rid of the classicist, Baroque, all of the neoclassical, all of that style of bourgeoisie is gone. I think is what that's supposed to signify, because the paintings basically go dark. And then it goes to fraternity, so liberty, equality, fraternity, and then Charon runs through cinema, meaning that it's a homage to French cinema and everything that French cinema contributed. So he runs into the movie screen and goes into another dimension of ancient French or old turn of the century French film. And I'm sure you've all seen this kind of stuff with some of the most famous old film stuff. I don't know why the Minions are there. And then they go to this to celebrate feminism, because Jean Barret was apparently the first woman to circumnavigate the oceans. And she had to disguise herself as a man. So the only reason they chose this to celebrate this was the gender stuff, you see. And then, I don't know who this is or who that is. Then we get a French rapper. Yes, a French rapper. Because when you think of rap, the first thing you think of is France, of course. First thought. When I think of a baguette, I think of rap. When I think of croissants, I think of rap. Then we get to what everyone talked about. This disgusting part. By the way, where's everybody at in terms of support? The super chat link is pinned in the chat there. It's in the show description. You can send me a super chat through Streamlabs to support the show, to keep me going. And you can also support via Bitcoin right here. This is my wallet. You can use that QR code if you want to send any kind of Bitcoin support. Please do so right there. Would appreciate that. We had somebody send $60 of Bitcoin yesterday or the day before. Appreciate that. Thank you to whoever did that. Appreciate it. We had somebody send for $500 in Bitcoin a couple of months ago. Appreciate that. So people do here and there trickle down, trickle town economics, trick town economics, trick town economics. Like your boy Ragan talked about, Ronnie Ragan. Ayatollah Khomeini sends $5 and he says, thank you for keeping on this discussion of Kabbalah train. Toot toot! We on that Kabbalah train. Come on, ride the Kabbalah train and ride it. Toot toot! Come on, ride the Kabbalah train and ride it. Adam Cadmon train. Adam Cadbury train. Most Christians don't realize that what we speak of in terms of Judaism today is not what the patriarchs believed. Oh, that's correct. The rabbinic tradition goes off into a different journey, shall we say, than what we find, I think, in the Torah. So it's a inversion of the Last Supper, obviously, and they've got this chunk acceptance, shall we say? But I didn't realize it's a runway. So it's Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, and then it turns into a runway because France, fashion, runway, okay. Sure, we all know that. But there you can see people who have swapped their gender and a child there, which suggests minor attracted persons acceptance. Because remember, I think in the sequence we're under diversity. So liberty, equality, fraternity, diversity. So what I appreciate about the honesty of all of this event, I mean, obviously it's disgusting, blasphemous and all that, but at least they're connecting all the dots like we have always connected the dots here. That today's postmodern degeneracy is on the train of everything since the French Revolution and before. And then it turns into whatever this is. See, liberty, equality, fraternity, unity, diversity. And diversity means you accept pop stars with beards, like the bearded lady. Okay, at the bearded lady at the carnival, that's like the holiest thing nowadays. Used to, the bearded lady was like a thing at the carnival that people laughed at, and it was this oddity, like, what? That's a weird beard right there. That's a weird beard. Well, nowadays, that's like the hottest pop star, dude. Looking hot. Looking good. Pop stars be buying that weird ass beard shit. All that weird beard products that all the chunky ass dudes that like are trying to show off like they're super male alpha dudes.
Oh God, my beard oils. I just got a bunch of beard oils and I manscaped down there and I beard oiled up here with 25 different male masculine beard products. Look at my beard.
Right? Beard products. Because there's nothing more masculine than having 20 different oily products and ointments for the hair on your face. And the same dude that's buying a bunch of beard products is the same dude in the IPA section that I made fun of the other day. Remember that? The IPA beer bros. The guy with boobs. The guy with double D's. Like this dude. By the way, this...
Quit using AI art. Stop using AI.
Well, the AI art for the beer bro was perfect. I couldn't not use it. Look at that. How could you not use these three douchebags? And every damn beer bro looks like that. So the AI knows exactly what I'm talking about. And the AI is proof that there's an archetype of an annoying beer bro who uses beard oil products who looks like this. Otherwise, the AI couldn't smash it together in its own archetype. And yet it did. Proving me right. Boom. Remember this? But when I see the IPA beer bro, I don't see much of a difference between that and today's pop star like this. I'm like, are you the bearded lady pop star that was at the Olympics? Or are you a beard product oil man from the IPA section with a lumberjack shirt and a toboggan and boobs? Which one are you, dude? I don't even know. It's all the same to me, man. Look, lumberjack shirts, breasts, soy face. It's all the same to me, man. It's all the same. And they all come in a package.
Let's do a beer podcast. How much weight can we put on in one podcast?
There you go, right there. If you type in IPA beer man, look at the boobs that come up. I didn't type in nothing about no Tatas. I typed in IPA beer and I got boobs. What's that tell you? Even the AI knows, bro. Look, even the AI can make fun of y'all. That's why y'all hate AI. It's because me and the AI know what's up, and y'all know me and the AI are right. You just got owned. You just got boom roasted by AI, dude. Boom roasted. By the way, shout out to that fat super chat right there. Anon. Look at that. We got freaking Guy Fox over here. Anonymous sending $250. $250. Thank you so much, Anon. We got Hugo Weaving over here with a Guy Fawkes mask on. Mr. Anderson, Mr. Anderson, I hate your stink. Shout out to Anon, $250. He wins the super chat race to the top. Anyway, how do we get on this nonsense? Back to the bearded lady over at the carnival. Charon. All right. So I went through the history of cinema. I forgot to mention in the history of cinema section, they played Sorcerer's Apprentice, right? Remember Mickey was over there invoking the devil? Mickey Mouse doing satanic rituals. And now it's all out in the open. Who has been covering all of this crap for how many years now? My wife wrote a book on high-profile rituals and all of the VMA ceremonies and all this nonsense. Okay, so we got... then they had a woman come on to sing. I didn't catch who it was. I don't care about anything. Oh, this was odd. So people thought this is the rider on the pale horse. It's death. I mean, maybe there's a double sense to this. This is supposed to be Joan of Arc. I don't know why they put Joan of Arc on a metal horse like a robot. Whatever. But this was just, I think, propaganda because she's a woman. Okay, so Joan of Arc is a feminist icon as well, for those that don't know. Travis 10, he says, here's 1,000 fiat coins. He means pennies. Pennies on the dollar, exactly. Thank you so much, Travis. Shout out to my boy Travis for understanding that Bitcoin is the future. It's real money. It's the best money. It is actually ethical money. It is the future of all money. It is the revolution of money. And we're gonna talk a little bit about Michael Saylor's lecture because he laid that out very well in the first 15 minutes. So all of you dum-dums who still don't understand what Bitcoin is and that it's the future of money needs to watch the first, we'll say 20 minutes. Because we know all of y'all goofuses don't run corporations, okay? I love you guys in the audience. We got a super high IQ audience. But the thing with super high IQ audience, which we have, is that most of the time, they're not very good at business. Okay, let's be honest. To be a genius business person is not the highest IQ person. Super high IQ people are too spurgy and high IQ and eccentric to actually run anything. They got to be over in the corner doing macaroni art or something, right? Because they're almost borderline slow boy because they're so smart, because they're eccentric and weird, right? You think it's a Downs slow boy over in the corner over there working macaroni art, and you're over here laughing, making jokes. Turns out, boom, he just invented the iPhone 17 with macaroni. You didn't even know. You just got owned. Boom roasted. You think, you think it's a slow boy, and he's over there rewriting the code for Contra. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I'm intentionally talking like Theo Von just to be silly.
You just don't talk like Theo Von.
Yeah, I talk like a lot of people, boy. I talk like your mama too. You want to hear me talking like your mama?
Hey, you want to come over for breakfast?
See, I impersonate your moms too. Boom roasted. Now, back to Joan of Arc. The only reason they put Joan of Arc in here is because she's seen as a feminist icon. That's it. And there was a whole bunch of feminism in this liberty, equality, fraternity, diversity propaganda. Now, let's see. We hit all of that. But I want to call your attention to the fact that none of this is anything new. people are freaking out because, oh, Dionysius was on the plate. Okay, and then Dionysius popped out, right? And I think this was just the inversion of Christianity because he's on the table where the runway Last Supper image was with the fat acceptance goddess version of, quote, Christ. And then Dionysius pops out. So I think they're just saying that the religion of the future is the goddess, Isis, and Dionysius, which is the ancient mysteries talk that we did. Literally everything in the talks that I was doing ended up being in this damn Olympics disgustery. This is a bunch of disgustery. I'll put it that way. What the heck is that? Anyway, so that's supposed to be Dionysius. Dionysian religion is like, a moralistic abandon, licentiousness, etc. And that's the inversion